Hey, good morning, guys. So I was going to address Elizabeth's second question this morning. What issues may arise today with new installations? I think the article kind of touched on this really well in the first chapter. There were two issues that I think that they touched on, and the first one was starting with this idea of like a perceived security, and so kind of this notion that what like people don't know won't hurt them. So if by keeping the cables underground, obviously this lends its hand to like infrastructure being more neat and useful by laying the groundwork in through the ocean and everything. But also too, I think a lot of it has to do with keeping the public out of it. There's not really like a democracy involved with laying cables. It kind of just like happened. Not really, obviously I know that, but I think we're seeing that a lot with like politically charged, polarized issues. That I think that if the government just did it, which thank goodness we live in a democracy and that can't happen, but there are some issues. The biggest thing that stood out to me are vaccines. And if the public weren't able to choose getting vaccines, I think that that might be highly beneficial, but also something that lends its hand to not being constitutional, I suppose. So, anyways, this idea of perceived security, if the public kind of knows about it, there's a lot of people that would think that they have the power to challenge it, and they don't. So, by keeping them underground, we're setting up a system that obviously is going to benefit us in the future, and it is currently. I think, too, the second issue that they talk about was this idea of naturalization or territorialized oceans. So by laying the groundwork and kind of letting everyone have access to it, you get out of this like oligarchy situation where people, because it's the ocean, nobody owns the ocean, so we're allowed to run cables under there and everyone is able to use them. I think if that were ever to happen, and I don't know what that looks like in the political future, but people claiming the ocean as their own, I think that that will get really tricky when we talk about cables and an undersea network. So those are kind of the two things that I could see in the future, both the territorialization of oceans and then also too society disrupting the process or it kind of being more of a democracy in this sense. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you.